So, about the last video about expectations, this will maybe be part two, but let's see where it goes. So, I never want to hear anybody who watched the last video to say, "Oh, I don't have expectations." I don't want to hear anybody say anything slanderous over expectations again. All right. I don't want to hear anybody with any negative comments on expectations after this video, the last video that I uploaded. And why is that? Because expectations are very parallel and very well aligned with um, faith. Think about it. You expect something from something that you have not understood or seen yet. You expect results, you expect hopefully positive things, but you are hopeful, and it aligns very well with hope as well, because you are hopeful that something will come to pass, something good, hopefully. And I don't understand why people would expect and hope for something bad to happen. And if they do, I hope it doesn't happen. And all the good should be something that makes is it might be bad, but if it's bad, it's some sort of instrumental bad that makes it to an intrinsic good. Or yeah, so it might be bad for a moment, but the outcome of it will become good, and that's what I hope for. And I know that's why the Bible says, um, it says all things work out for the good for those who love God. And that's what it's talking about. Maybe something might be bad, but it might be to build you up. And if it's you don't think it's to build you up, the thing is this: there might be tragedy in your life, there might be tragedy, all sorts of tragedy, but the worst thing would be for you to make that tragedy an excuse to do something bad. And so I'm not going to veer off too much of the topic of expectation and go into tragedy, but I will say that expectation is a very beautiful thing, and it's a good thing to induce and invoke results. And if you don't have it, you will never get results. It's a vision kind of thing. Expectation is vision, and it takes vision to have expectation. So for you to say, I'm just going to not have expectations, well, the thing is this: then you're going to get to an old age and you're going to say, I never expected anything. And you might be a grateful person. That might be a good thing. It might get you somewhere, but no expectation equals no results. Now, a lot of people, there was something that Stephen Hawking said. He said, I haven't had expectations since 21, and everything after that has been a bonus. That's a beautiful and powerful quote, but I think he was kind of off on what he meant, because I believe he did have expectations. He expected to, and that's why he worked towards them. That's why he got a lot of things accomplished. That's why he learned so much and he got so many things. But he was an atheist. I don't see how. I don't understand atheists. I mean, I tried to, but they tend to not say what they mean and say things, and it doesn't make sense to me. Atheists don't make sense to me. And he was an atheist, but maybe he wasn't. I think he was. He says he was. He was. And he did not have faith. Anyways, that's an even deeper discussion. I don't want to veer off too much from the expectation, but that's a very powerful thing. He said that everything that he gained was a bonus, and that's how we should live. That's gratefulness. But we should have expectations. We should expect for our kids to become good kids. We should have expectations that we will promote in our job. That's vision. We should have vision. And we should, if we pay something, we should expect to get something in return. That's incentive. That's incentive to do better. It's incentive, and incentive is a beautiful thing that we should all have and we should all yearn for. And I have expectations. I'm going to say it. And expectations have allowed me to get to classes. It has allowed me to sacrifice. It has allowed me to um, do things. And it has allowed me to fail. And failure is a good thing if you learn how to overcome it and maneuver around it. Because a lot of my failures were something that were lessons. And so without expectations, you don't have um, any kind of like, you don't really overcome, because it is your expectations that give you the assignments kind of to say to do something greater. Because if you don't have the expectation that you're gonna succeed in it, then that means that you're just flying by, you're just going by, you're just getting tossed around in the wind. So we should have expectations. I do believe that we should have expectations and not not over not idolize them. We shouldn't idolize our expectations. That's a problem that people have. They idolize it so much that if they fail or it doesn't come to pass the way they want it to do, they they say, they say, they cry out to God, maybe raise their fist at him. Why didn't that happen? Why didn't I get what I expected or any of that? It's because you idolized it. Understand that you might fail, and that's what we talked about in the previous video. The video prior to this one is that you cannot idolize your expectations. You can't say if it doesn't come to pass, then it wasn't something hates me, or I shouldn't just expect anymore. This is what I get for expecting too much or expecting at all. This is what I get. No, understand that just like love and faith in some things, sacrifice and all that, it hurts, and sometimes you don't get the results you want, but it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Now, and that's the thing. Expectation has been something that's, it's been, you can maybe even hear it and see it if you pay attention, that it's been something that's been negatively connotated by a lot of people and even smeared and slandered. So I need to defend that. I need to defend that I don't need to defend it, but I want to, because I want you to understand that your life can get a little bit better at least if you have some certain expectations on certain things, because certain things are. That's why the Bible says, God will keep His promises, and that's why you have to ask God for. Sometimes you need to ask Him, tell Him, remember God's promises and tell Him, you're a good God, you know, this is I'm letting you know, and you claim it. You claim the expectation that because it is written, and when it says it is written, it means it's gonna happen. That's what it is. That's its nature, and you expect its nature to happen. You work all week, and you have that expectation that you're gonna get paid at the end of the week. So subconsciously, sometimes you have expectations that don't even know it. You expect to eat your next meal. You expect certain things, but expectations are a good thing, and we shouldn't talk about them as if they're such evil. And you know what? Gratefulness will be another topic that we speak about. We won't be speaking about it today, but don't let your expectations get to the point where you can't get grateful. And that's the thing. It's the love of money type of scenario, because people will be like, oh, the money's evil. No, money is not evil, but the love of money, which is probably would be best to say the idolization of money, idolizing it is what makes it evil. Expectations are not evil, but when you love expectations, when you have that kind of grab on it that if it doesn't come to pass, it's just evil because it did you wrong. No. And some people say love hurt me. No, it was the idea of what you thought love was that hurt you, not love itself. And your connotation's bad about it the rest of your life because you phrased it wrong, because you had a bad idea of the context of what it is. You didn't understand it right. Therefore, you got hurt for your whole life, ignorantly understanding love. No, it's the same thing with expectations. You might have the idea that expectations are wrong because you fell short one time, or maybe somebody fell short to you, but you can't allow that to hold you back for the rest of your life from having expectations, because without expectations, there's no miracle. And yeah, that's the thing, because miracles are done in the supernatural. They're done with something that we have no idea that it can happen. And what happens is that you have the faith to say that this is gonna happen, and it happens. It happens through God. But that's that's the thing. We need to understand that, because if you say, that's why Jesus said, "Do you believe that you're gonna be healed?" And they said, "Yes, we believe in you." And that's why when they followed him, they said, "You only your words have life. Only you have life." That's why when the 12 apostles, when Jesus said, "Are you gonna keep following me, or you want to leave too?" They go, "No, only you have the life." But they had that expectation to gain life from him. So yeah, think about it. Think about it a lot. Think about what expectations are and how good they can be. So with that being said, like and subscribe. God bless. Take care. See you guys soon. Bye.